Today's Nerdist News is sponsored by Saban's Power Rangers. How Deadpool 2's PG-13 cut will get him into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. With Sony's Venom film about to hit theaters, fans of edgy superheroes are riding high. And now, with the latest news about Deadpool, there might be even more of them to get excited about. Since the Fox acquisition by Disney was made all but official earlier this year, fans have been wondering how Disney will cram the F-word loving Merc with a mouth into the family-friendly Marvel Cinematic Universe. Other Fox-owned Marvel characters like the X-Men and the Fantastic Four would be an easy tonal fit for the MCU, but Deadpool's R-rated antics would need to be toned down before he and the Avengers could sit down for a nice, wholesome shawarma. But thanks to a tweet from Ryan Reynolds last week, we may have gotten us a sneak peek of how the most meta superhero in history is sneaking his way into the Marvel sandbox. The tweet features a picture of Deadpool wearing a Santa hat and reading a children's book to actor Fred Savage, who is dressed exactly like his character from the 1987 classic film The Princess Bride, along with the word thoughts captioning the picture. But what does this all mean? Well, last Friday, it was announced that Fox is pushing back a few of their upcoming film release dates, but in the info drop, it was also revealed that Fox is working on a PG-13 version of Deadpool 2 that is supposed to hit theaters this December. Wait, a PG-13 Deadpool movie? Did we read that right? Regardless of whether fans were clamoring for a PG-13 Deadpool 2, we're getting it. And Reynolds' tweet gives us a good idea of how they're going to tone down the R-rated action comedy. And reframing the events of the film as a story Deadpool is reading to Fred Savage, a la The Princess Bride, is a fun and very Deadpool way to explain the need to censor the story. While this might seem, on the surface, just a quick payday by Fox, there might actually be a lot more to this. Disney head honcho Bob Iger said in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter last month that there shouldn't be two Marvels, referring to a separation between the Fox Marvel universe and the MCU. When asked about Deadpool becoming an Avenger, Iger said Kevin Feige's got a lot of ideas. And during an earnings call in August, Iger specifically name-dropped the Merc with the mouth. So, from the sounds of it, Disney plans on bringing Deadpool into the MCU in some form sooner rather than later. And let's be real, at this point, Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool are like peanut butter and jelly. They're not going to bring Deadpool into the MCU without Reynolds attached. As for what Disney has in store for Deadpool, it's hard to say, but knowing Disney, we're pretty sure they're not R-rated plans. So it seems like releasing this PG-13 cut is a good way to show that Deadpool can play in Marvel's family-friendly sandbox. And considering how well Deadpool 2 did at the box office, $734 million, not too far behind the first Deadpool's box office smashing numbers, a more family-friendly Deadpool 2 could not only draw in big crowds of kids and parents who shied away from the R-rated shenanigans of the first two movies, but also the adult audiences who saw the first two in theaters and might be curious about how much a PG-13 rating will change the Merc with a mouth. And this weekend with Venom, we're seeing another dark anti-hero ask for Marvel's hand in marriage by putting a PG-13 rating ring on what early on might have been an R-rated jaunt. Making Venom safe for younger audiences is Sony's way of keeping the door open for an MCU Spider-Man appearance down the line. And if Venom does well, then going PG-13 could be the definitive way for the more crass of the superhero and villain franchises to get themselves MCU ready. However, it's worth noting that since Deadpool is so intertwined with the X-Men and we have yet to hear how or when the mutants will be entering the MCU, the storytelling device from The Princess Bride could be used to help recontextualize Deadpool's origins and previous adventures with the Merry Mutants. Deadpool's story could be retold to Fred Savage as a bedtime story, and at the end, Deadpool explains that everything that happened wasn't real, just a story from a fairy tale book, which would also do a great job of erasing the Fox Deadpool canon and opening the character up for inclusion in the MCU. But we'll just have to wait until December to see how a PG-13 Deadpool 2 pans out. But what do you folks think? Do you plan to watch this new kid-friendly version of Deadpool 2? And will you also go to see Aquaman that same weekend, or will the two have to battle it out for your movie ticket money? Let's discuss. Thank you to Saban for sponsoring today's Nerdist News. Just in time for the Power Rangers 25th anniversary, Target has teamed up with the Mighty Morphers to bring you this one-of-a-kind Megazord. Sold exclusively at Target.com and their brick-and-mortar stores, the Megazord will only be on shelves for a limited time, so buy one now.